When Congress returns after the holidays, they will attempt health care reform after taxpayer payments ended, causing premiums in Obamacare to increase this next month. Fort Worth Republican Congressman Craig Goldman previews this debate to come and spoke about affordability issues with Gromer.
Well, let's be very clear. When the Trump administration came in at the turn of the new year, we had record inflation. We had the highest gas prices we've seen in decades. We had complete unaffordability all over the United States. So what has the Trump administration, what has U.S. Congress run by the Republicans done since then? One, we tremendously have lowered gas prices. In fact, gas prices are some of the lowest they've been in years. Remember when egg prices in last November and December were through the roof? They came in and lowered those. And the one big beautiful bill we passed this summer, we cut taxes, income taxes on tips. We cut them in other ways. So the effects of the one big beautiful bill are taking effect at the end of this year and certainly will take effect in next year. In fact, there's talk of record income tax refunds next year. So you just can't come in and snap your fingers and change everything in 1 or 2 months. It takes time. And so we definitely have the policies in the Republican Party of making life more affordable all over the United States of America.
Yet President Trump has called the whole affordability issue a, quote, Democratic hoax. Is that true? Is it a Democratic hoax?
No, it's not a hoax. I mean, look, we certainly know that Americans are suffering out there, but also let's look at what Americans are suffering out there. You know, Texans have, for example, Texans have one of the lowest gas taxes in the nation at 25 cents a gallon versus California that has a 75 cent tax on a gallon of gas out there. So I think it's also in different regions. I think it's way more unaffordable to live in a blue state than and much more affordable to live in a red state.
What are you going to do specifically to address the problem?
Well, again, we passed one big beautiful bill. We cut no tax on tips. Yeah. We cut taxes, no tax on overtime pay. Boy, that definitely affects our men and women in blue. And so, you know, again, there's no magic policy you can pass. It's a series of policies. Now we're going to tackle health care. We're going to start today with a very important vote to lower health care costs. You know, we can get into that more, but, you know, Obamacare, they said it was Affordable Care Act. It's been nothing but, and it's been completely unaffordable, and everyone agrees with that. There's not one Republican that voted for Obamacare. Every single Democrat did. And now the problem is left in our lap that we have the majority, and we got to fix it. So we're going to start today taking a very important vote in lowering health care costs, and we're going to work on it all next year. We already know starting in January and February, that is our number one topic we're going to talk about and try to solve. It's a very difficult issue.
Is there a Republican plan yet? Have you seen a plan?
Well, again, there's not going to be one big plan, Gromer. It's going to be a series of what we have the votes to pass. And again, it starts today. So we're going to attempt to lower premiums today by cutting costs. We're going to attempt to make prescription prices more transparent so that people know exactly what they're paying for when they go to a drugstore and get drugs, get prescriptions filled. So it's the little things like that we can certainly shine the light on, but certainly, yes, along the way, and again, it all goes through the committee that I sit on, the Energy and Commerce Committee oversees health care. And so we've been talking and will continue to talk seriously about ways we can lower premiums because they're out of control. And the only people who are benefiting from the healthcare system now are the massive insurance companies.
What are you going to do to reduce energy costs?
Well, funny you should ask. I've actually passed a bill to lower energy costs for homeowners. In fact, I just passed one in committee the other day and hope that it's on the floor early next year. As you may remember, I passed more deregulation bills in the Texas House than anybody in the last decade. I came into Congress hoping to do the exact same thing. I've already had a bill signed by the president to do so, and hopefully I have another one on the way. It passed out of the committee a couple of weeks ago, and it's headed to the House floor. And these are government mandates set by the Biden administration declaring what you have to do, whether it's appliances in your home, whether it's commercial refrigerators that businesses had to have. There were government mandates set by the Biden administration on green energy deals. And guess what happens when you do that? you raise the cost of those appliances. We want the free market. We want the American people. I want every single Texan to decide on their own.
Should the Obama-era subsidies, should they have been allowed to expire? What are you going to do?
They should be allowed to expire, absolutely.
Why?
Look, those subsidies were passed 5 years ago after COVID. Again, yet another bill that every single Democrat voted for and Republicans did not. And so they could have made those permanent because the Democrats were in control when they passed these. They could have made them permanent. They're the ones who put a limit on them.
But that's a tax increase, isn't it? I mean, that's going to, rates are going to go up.
Look, the problem is it affects about 7% of Americans. And so what we want to do when we come back in the new year is set up policies where we lower premiums for all Americans. So again, these tax cuts were supposed to be permanent in the first place. Democrats even said that. I'm sorry, temporary in the first place. They weren't supposed to be permanent. And so, you know, I don't see those passing the House or the Senate. And so we have to have one big fix to lower premiums for all Americans, not just a few.
The big takeaway for me is that Congressman Goldman is saying affordability is not a hoax. It's important to his district, and he's going to he has to communicate that he cares about this issue.
He does, because you're right. You know, people in Tarrant County are getting hit hard. Some of them with affordability issues, ranging from groceries to health care to just insurance, period. And so he has to address it. And his position can't be two things. One, it's a Democratic Party hoax, or let's blame Joe Biden for it. People don't want to hear that. They want to know what your solution is. And one other thing, yeah, Tarrant County may be the largest Republican-controlled county in the country, but it's also a bit of a battleground. Mm-hmm. And he's anticipating, I'm sure, that this could be a tougher re-election than normal because of what the excitement about it on both sides, but an energized Democratic electorate could cause problems in Tarrant County if you're not addressing the right issue.
If things continue to get more and more expensive,
right,
that's just part of being a good representative, right? You have to say, I know you care about this issue, and I'm going to try and do something about it.
I understand I understand your pain. I understand what you're going through. Here's how we're going to tackle it. But that's the other side of it. He doesn't know yet how they're going to solve some of these issues. It's almost like a trust me, we'll get it done. But there's no evidence that Congress or anybody has really effectively dealt with these things over the years. So that's what we're going to watch, Phil, is will they be able to come up with some solutions? And if they can't come up with something that pleases the voters quickly, we'll see what happens in the midterm elections.